So when you think about players like Thierry Henry, Paolo Maldini, Xavi, Iniesta, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Robert Lewandowski, Frank Ribery, Arjen Robben, and many others, what do you think these guys have in common?
No Ballon d'Or.
Exactly. These were all top players in their own right for club and country. They killed it, they performed, fans loved them, but they were unfortunate. I use the word unfortunate because all of these players have a case that they could have won the Ballon d'Or, but they did not. But I think even when you think about all these great names we mentioned, the one player that stands out as the top player that never ever won the Ballon d'Or is Neymar. I think the one person that stands out as the top player that never won the Ballon d'Or is Neymar. You just have to think about the fact that this guy, despite all his brilliance, everything on the pitch, he never won a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, it's very sad when you talk about Neymar and knowing that he never won a Ballon d'Or. And I'll say he's so unfortunate to come to that era where you had exceptional players like Messi and Ronaldo.
Messi and Ronaldo.
Because if he came during this era, I tell you, he's going to sweep.
He will farm
There's nothing Vinicius. Even nobody is going to come out and say, "I'll do it 10 times."
He will farm the Ballon
d'Or. There's nothing, but then
this is someone that will wake up at 3 a.m. to watch highlights of him.
Even when he moved to Barca, it was like even Madrid were not happy. We're not happy in any way. But then,
wait, you're a Madrid fan by then?
Yes, no.
I thought you were still supporting your English English branch.
Yeah, in any way, we're never happy. But then we saw how he flourished in Barca, and it was like, okay, Messi is like overshadowing. Not like he was, but then as a player, sometimes
Messi was overshadowing. What
I mean, like sometimes as a player, like okay, let me move to another place and see how it's going to work. Yeah. But I feel the club he moved to was the wrong decision. Moving to PSG shouldn't have been the thing for him.
So which club should he have gone to?
I think he should have either he moved to.
Because if people say PSG, I don't think PSG was the wrong
decision. No, but if he had come to the Premier League,
they were looking for PSG at that time. We're looking for a player to become that superstar name.
But then, did he have that team?
Yeah, they didn't have the proper structure.
Because if you talk about Messi today, we can't forget what the kind of
the proper structure. But I don't necessarily think going to PSG was a wrong decision. It just didn't work out well.
That's why I said for me it was the wrong one, because where he was looking at was also to flourish as much as Messi did. And for you to do that, you have to go to a club that has that structure. For Neymar was what they wanted to use as the symbol for PSG. But then it didn't work out. And we could see as soon as he did not really do that well as they wanted, they were able to just flush in Mbappe. And Mbappe became the star boy, not even Neymar. That definitely should have been that. So Neymar played quite well, but then you look at the Champions League, which is so important if you wanted to win that Ballon d'Or. They were just going out to the quarters, they were not getting up. Even the fact, when they got to the final, they just lost it. They have no excuse to have lost that final that day. So I feel so bad for Neymar. All he did for Brazil, whether he had one leg or not, whether he was playing quite well, whenever he went to his national team, he always shined brightly.
Yeah, I remember 2014, that sad injury at the World Cup. And after his injury, they lost 7-1.
They lost. And the way they sang national anthem after, but that World Cup was epic though. It was epic.
Yeah, so and when you think about Neymar, like, unfortunately, I mean, Neymar is now synonymous with injuries, unfortunately. Do you think the way Neymar played, his style of play, like always holding the ball for too long, trying to, dribble past players, showboat and all of that, do you think it sort of added to the number of injuries he had?
I think the major problem first for Neymar was the number of games he played. We cannot look at it at age 20. Neymar has already played more than 200 games.
Yeah.
For that age, it is too many. Because how many? Even normal players, that some of them are retired by like 30 years, have like 300 caps, some even 250.
But it's not really his fault. It was that.
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying before we talk about the style of play, we have to look at the number of games. Fatigue was already telling on him. Then his style of play, Neymar was usually fouled. Like once he has the ball on his foot, he just wants to make you enjoy football. He has this flair. Instead of passing, he wants to. And that was where we talk about. Then we had that season where we said Jack Grealish was the most fouled player in the Premier League. I think if you count the number of times Neymar was fouled, Grealish they learn work. You know, even reach that one.
I remember to the point where we started even doing compilations of Neymar rolling. Rolling on the pitch.
And if you notice too, most times he would fall. At some point, the referees were thinking it's simulation.
Yeah, he got the reputation.
So when he became the real, because I could see games where Neymar was fouled and the referee would just turn a blind eye.
Just because it's Neymar.
Yes, because it's Neymar, they feel he's doing this. That's why we tell players, don't do it, don't simulate, so that when he's at the right position, referees will have no issues than to just call it
it's just like Xhaka when he was at Arsenal. Some tackles he will make that should not even be a red, but because he's the one, he has that reputation.
They'll just give him
now, since he went to the Bundesliga, he has not received a red card. Ironic.
So that's I really feel for Neymar. It's one player that you just pray that in generations to come is not forgotten. Because one thing he might have won titles, but I know for his national team, Brazil would never. But I'm saying football world generally, if you do not really have something that fans, especially this new generation of fans, can hold on to, they will really, before you know, your name just fizzles out of their minds.
It's sort of a growing trend with Brazilians or maybe South Americans in general. We remember Neymar. We respect him till today, but if not for injuries and all, we even know that he could have done even better. Even Ronaldinho that even won, we still know that Ronaldinho had a lot he could have given. He had a lot more to give. Maybe he was at 80% of his powers. He never really gave us 100%.
Yes.
Probably maybe because of his partying lifestyle, all of that.
So
now when you look at this trend with South Americans, particularly Brazilians, what can Vinicius do that he doesn't end up like this? in that same light? Because now that he has missed out on one Ballon d'Or, he's already a nearly man. Yes. Already.
So what as long as they're second, you're a
nearly man already. So what can Vinicius do so that we don't look back at and say, oh, blah blah?
He just has to step up in his national team because he's not found wanting in Madrid.
Yeah.
He's not. In Madrid he plays well. I think we've seen him this season, he has scored 2 hat-tricks. This time in his national team, how do you miss that penalty?
He even got up to 6.
It's not. So how do you miss that penalty? Because these are key moments. Yeah. Any big player, your coach will always entrust you with this kind of thing. Like when he has to do penalty, even if Ronaldo is on the bench, ref no mind to sub him in. Put him there, just play the penalty because they trust you. That's how much Brazil trusts Vinicius to do it quiet, but he's not turning up as much as for me. There's nothing much. Vinicius is not a baby. What do you want to teach him?
Yeah,
you just have to go to your national team and perform. Learn how to play with the team because there are things I feel as a professional player, coach will not teach you anymore. It's like that's why Don Carlo will work with a big team. He's not teaching them too many tactics. You know your onions. Just tell you, okay, this is how you operate. This is how you do it. Go there and execute the task. That's the thing for them for Vinicius.
Anyways, I'm going to read out what the Palmeiras president said about Neymar, recently. She said Neymar will not join Palmeiras. This club isn't a medical department. I want someone who will come to join immediately, who can play tomorrow if the manager wishes. I won't accept us signing a player who is unfit to play. I mean, I hear the logic in what she's saying, but this is disrespectful, don't you think?
This is very derogatory. She has no rights. First of all, did she really watch football? Because she did. She will put some respect.
Exactly. Neymar did a lot for Brazilian football.
I think she just did not
Neymar paved the way for Brazilian youngsters to be signed for top money.
Yes.
Neymar paved the way.
Because after that his signing, that was the biggest ever. Yes. No one had ever had that kind of paycheck.
That was what paved the way.
I understand that Neymar is injured. We've talked about how he's injury prone. That was even why he could not continue so far with PSG, moved to Saudi, still in the doctor's treatment room. But then there's a way it could have been stated. Yeah. You can just say we want a player that can be week in, week out for the manager for long-term plan. That sounds better. We know that Neymar has his issues because there's anything you can remember. Once Neymar has his birthday, you will never see Neymar. Neymar will have an injury. It's very, very, you just know it's going to happen. Every year, I and my friends will be like, okay, let's wait for this Neymar's birthday.
His birthday is around February now.
You will never see Neymar. Yes, we understand, but then it's a thing with Brazilians. Their partying lifestyle.
Yeah.
We saw that even with
there was a time they said he on his sister's birthday too.
Yes, he always has a reason to travel. We know that they can party a lot, but then that doesn't take away the respect for Neymar. It can't. Even without the Ballon d'Or, you can't look at the Brazilian national team and
anyways, the latest reports, nothing is official yet, but latest reports are saying he has agreed a deal to move back to ball with Club Santos, and I think that might just be the best for him because that's one club that I feel like they will still give him respect no matter what.
Yes, it's better he moved there. He's not playing so much. You can count the number of games he has played for his. I think that's Al Hilal. That's where he is at Saudi Pro League. You can count the number of times he has played. Just go back, give back to your club because the more thing they're going to do is the revenue. It's going to be a big boost for them. The ticket sales, the jersey sales, and all that. And no pressures, whether you're playing well, just going there to add experience to the dressing room, make everyone feel happy. I think
Fair
he should
enough.
just move. Highest 1 or 2 years, Neymar has retired. It's not going
Okay,
to
fair
matter
enough.
then.
So just on the final note here, so aside Neymar here, give me three players that you feel were unfortunate to have never won the Ballon d'Or, aside Neymar.
Yes, of most recent, I would call firstly, I would call Thierry Henry. I think Henry deserved to win the Ballon d'Or, but he never. It's another nearly.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Secondly, Robert Lewandowski. There's
At
nothing because
2021.
if what even for what he is, the symbol of striker he is, to not win it, it's so sad. And last but not least, because it's three, and I'm calling recent, is Ellen Holland. There is nothing you want to tell me a treble winning season. Come on. Come on. Holland was supposed to win it.
Is he the first to win treble?
It's not the first.
So what are you
But
saying?
when last did any club in the Premier League win a treble? It was United that did that, and that was when? That's 2007 to 8 season. So
Yeah.
come on.
Fair enough. Very debatable with Alan, but I see your logic. It makes sense. Anyways, for me, I'll go with Henry first of all. Then I'll go with Iniesta.
Yeah.
I feel Iniesta was. It was not unfortunate to have played with Messi, but it was unfortunate to be competing.
Anybody that played with Messi and Ronaldo era, they are unfortunate.
It was unfortunate to be competing alongside Messi, for the Ballon d'Or. If he was to be in another club alone, I think he would have won it. And also because I'll name Buffon because we don't give goalkeepers the respect they should be getting. What he did in 2007 and 2008 was unrivaled. He should have won the Ballon d'Or. He finished second.
Yes.
He finished second.
finished
I think he
second.
should have won it. The only reason they did not give him was because he was a
He's
goalkeeper.
a goalkeeper.
But fair enough. Anyways, Vinicius now has joined the nearly men too. So let's see how that leads to keep on evolving. Anyways, and that's all we have for you in this video. It's unfortunate for Neymar how his career is winding down, but fortunate news is that he could be returning to his boyhood club Santos, and it's likely looking that is where he would end his career. Join us in the conversation below and let us know your thoughts. Do you agree that Neymar is perhaps the most unfortunate player to have not won the Ballon d'Or? And if Neymar was in this current era, what do you think his legacy will be like? Hoping to hear your comment in the section below. Until we come your way next time, stay cool.